and welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Sesta. And today we're going to talk about what the hell is going on with Zillow. Don't go away. Welcome back to Real Talk with Sesta. So today we're going to get into the topic of Zillow. I know you've probably heard it on the news, social media, and a lot of other YouTube channels about Zillow's Ibuyer program, about them halting that program and losing a ton of money. So we're going to get into some facts surrounding that story. So let's get right into it. So many of the popular YouTubers out there that talk about real estate are talking about Zillow's Ibuyer program and how Zillow is really losing a ton of money and putting their properties on the market. And they're talking about how that's going to crash the real estate market. And many are predicting not only Zillow, but Redfin, Open Door. And some are predicting that this is just the very beginning of the real estate crash and the crash of a lot of other programs similar to the Ibuyer program. We're going to get right into it. I want to share some of the facts that I have found in researching this topic. And I'm going to give you a little bit of my opinion based on these facts of why I think this happened to Zillow. But again, it's just my opinion. There's a lot of other opinions out there. So let's just get right into some of the news and then some of the facts. So as you've seen, there's a lot of news out there of Zillow laying off a bunch of people. You've heard that their stock prices have started to crash ever since they've announced the end of this Ibuyer program. There's reports on as much as 25% of the Zillow staff being laid off because of this as well. And the Insider has reported that 64% of the homes that Zillow has purchased through this program has now been listed for less money than they've actually even paid for them. So Zillow started this Ibuyer program not too long ago where they have allowed sellers to contact them directly if they wanted to sell the house, and Zillow would give them a price, and if they agreed, they did a little bit of an inspection and they purchased the home. So it's reported that Zillow currently has 7,000 homes that they bought through this program, and many of them, up to 64% of them, are now being sold at a reduced rate, less than what they've even purchased them for. At first, Zillow announced that they were just halting it because of the amount of properties that they had, and then just a few days later had announced that they permanently are stopping that program and laying off as many as 25% of the staff due to this decision. So why is it that a big mega company like Zillow, one of the biggest real estate websites out there, have failed in their attempt to buy and flip properties? Well, there's many opinions out there, and if you look at some of the YouTube videos and some of the media that's out there, there's a lot of different opinions. But I'm going to base my opinion on just from what I see based on my marketplace here in Port Saint Lucie and on the Treasure Coast. So in what I've researched as far as the properties that they've bought in our area, it definitely seems like they overpaid for those properties in the beginning. Any of us realtors that have dealt with investors and people that are flipping homes know that you got to purchase the home at a discounted rate for you to be able to do any kind of repairs and then turn around, put it on the market, and make a profit. Well, it seems like Zillow wasn't doing that. Zillow was paying the fair market value on these homes and then expected to turn them for a profit. Some say that this was part of their strategy to start off with, to pay a little bit more than a normal investor would pay so that sellers would sell directly to them. And then as the program progressed, they would pay less and less because more and more sellers would be approaching them. So it seems like in the very beginning, they've overpaid for these houses just so they can get this program started. From what I understand, a few of the people that I've spoken to that have sold to Zillow said they did very little to no inspection or no due diligence into the home. A lot of it was done online or over the phone, and they've come up with a price. Zillow would send someone out to do a little inspection and then purchase the home. Also, it seems like Zillow bought too many properties way too fast. They have a lot of inventory on their hands, and now they're slashing prices just to get rid of it. Another thing is, I don't think they realized or took into consideration the holding costs that are involved in holding the property, repairs that need to be made, trying to find contractors in this market to even do the work is challenging all in itself. I don't think they thought a lot of these factors through prior to starting this program. So what it seems like they did is just went full bore buying homes, doing very little due diligence, and then expecting to turn a profit. Lastly, and what I think is the biggest issue, and if you talk to any of the area realtors, they will tell you, is that Zillow employed people that really didn't have a local area knowledge of the real estate market and knew what was going on. I know that the person that we've dealt with here in putting in offers and that's been facilitating these sales is not even from the Treasure Coast, hasn't sold homes on the Treasure Coast. They're from like 2 hours south of us. So they know nothing about the Port Saint Lucie and the Treasure Coast area when it comes to real estate, where it comes to special assessments, different taxing districts, different things like that. Seems like they basically just went on Zillow estimates, the Zestimate that they call it, and they've overpaid for the homes. So again, number one, no due diligence, overpriced homes, lack of area knowledge, to me, all led to their demise in this program. Does that make sense? I could tell you, based on what I see in our real estate market, they've really taken a beating on these programs. Let me just give you a couple of examples of some of the price slashing that's gone on in our area alone. So here's an example of some of the homes that they have on the market here in Port Saint Lucie that they've just recently slashed prices on just to get rid of them. So here's a prime example of them purchasing a property a few months ago, and now it is currently listed less than what they paid for it. Here's another example where they purchased this property a few months ago, and they just recently cut the prices to leave about $1,000 margin between the price they paid and the price they're selling it for. So with carrying cost, sales cost, closing costs, they're going to take a loss on this property as well. You can see that this program definitely didn't work. Didn't work out for them as far as making a profit, that's for sure. So the big question that a lot of people are approaching me with or asking me about is, Andrew, what does this mean to us as a local real estate market? Is the market going to crash because of it? Are all the prices going to be coming down? Because everybody's looking for that big crash, kind of like that happened in 08, 09. But I don't see that happening anytime in the future. And let me show you why. So let me share this chart with you that I just recently posted on Facebook. This is a chart of Port Saint Lucie, and it shows the number of listings and listing prices. And as you can see, listing prices kind of leveled out in August, September and August. And that's usually the way the market is in our area. August and September, things kind of slow down and start to level off. But as you can see in September, it picked right back up, and the prices are not going up as rapidly as they were in the past few months, but they're still ticking upward. Inventory, as you can see, is still very low, and the demand is still very high. So with those factors in place, I can tell you with confidence that this area is still a seller's market. The pricing still seems to be going up. How long that's going to last, we don't know. But what I can tell you is that the handful of properties, the 6, 8, 10 properties that Zillow does have on the market and that they're reducing the price isn't going to tank the Port Saint Lucie market as some people are predicting or wishing for. As a whole, I don't think it's going to affect our area as much as maybe some of the areas that they're talking about online, like Phoenix, Arizona, California, New York. Keep in mind that, these predictions can sometimes be based on what's going on in one area. That doesn't mean it's going on in all areas. Even Florida, for example, there's different cities and different areas in Florida that are experiencing totally different markets. Port Saint Lucie is extremely hot. There may be markets out there that I see that is not as hot, that the prices aren't rising as fast as they have here. So you really got to get that area knowledge, and that's where a realtor that works in and around your primary market. And I think that was a big demise with Zillow, is because they didn't have that expertise. The expert that works in the area, that does a ton of sales, that looks at charts and data and knows what's going on in their marketplace as far as special taxing districts, what's being built here, what's being built there, highways. You have to take all that stuff in consideration when buying and selling a home. And Zillow definitely wasn't doing that. So again, in conclusion, is this going to affect our Treasure Coast in a negative way? Maybe very little, but I don't think it's going to tank the market based on just the 8 or 10 homes that they have. Port Saint Lucie still has a really strong market. I think that's going to level off at some point. Where that point is, we don't know. We thought we kind of saw that the last couple months, but then again, September picked back up again. I can tell you that I am starting to see more and more price reductions, more and more expireds. Not a whole lot, but I am starting to see more than I have been in the past 6-8 months. So I'm sure there's a leveling period coming soon. Interest rates were projected to increase. They haven't. So they're still pretty low. Inventory is low. Demand is still really high. We still have a lot of people coming from a lot of different areas. So again, in summary, I don't think it's going to affect the Treasure Coast. May affect some of the areas in the United States. Again, I'm not an expert there, but what I can tell you is I don't think it's going to have a great impact here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed for future videos. Please share this video with others that you think may be interested or may gain some value by watching this. Please stay tuned for further videos, and please put a comment in the comment section of things that you would like to see me talk about. I thank you so very much for watching this video.